Hello everyone, welcome back to the POPSICLE KNIGHT channel. My name is Joseph and today we're taking a look at Shiftry from Vivid Voltage. But before that, I want to first thank you for taking the time to check out this video. Please click the like button for this video if you like it, hit that thumbs down if you don't. This actually helps me out in getting this video to more viewers like you. Please consider subscribing to this channel if you haven't already and feel free to share this content. So let's get started. I've been really wanting to make a deck with Shiftry for some time now, and it has been a real challenge to find just the right combination to make it work. And so far I think this is the closest one I've come up with that actually makes good use of Shiftry. Shiftry is a stage 2 Pokemon with 150 HP. Because it is a grass type, its weakness to fire is the least desirable trait for this card since fire type builds are very common in the game right now. But what sets this card apart is its ability, Shiftry Substitution. As long as this Pokemon is in the active spot, each supporter card in your opponent's hand has the effect draw 3 cards. So for example, if they use boss's orders, instead of gusting, your opponent will draw 3 cards instead, and that can really mess up your opponent. Its attack is also not bad. For 1 grass and 1 colorless, Fan Tornado will do 110 base damage. I honestly wish this attack was stronger. But with this attack, you can also choose to have your opponent switch their active Pokemon with one of their benched Pokemon. Your opponent chooses which they will switch. This effect can actually be very disruptive as well. While it might not look useful at first glance, forcing your opponent to move their active may actually be helpful for you to turn the tide in your favor, given the right circumstance, of course. I did want Shiftry to be the star of the deck, but its attack is just too weak, so I am pairing it with Orbeetle VMAX, just as a secondary attacker for a more potent attack damage. I will be using a 3-1-3 line of Shiftry in this build. And just to review, Orbeetle VMAX has 310 HP, with the ability Eerie Beam, which allows you to put 1 damage counter to all of your opponent's Pokemon once per turn and if Orbeetle VMAX is in the active. This ability does come in handy a lot. Just stacking up those damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon can be very helpful. Also, its attack G-Max Wave for 1 grass and 1 colorless energy. It will do 50 base damage, but it will do an extra 50 damage for every energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. So if they have 3 energy, this attack will do 200 damage. And I will have a 2-2 line of Orbeetle VMAX with this build. I also added in Celebi Amazing Rare, more for its energy press attack because for just 1 grass energy, it will do 30 damage times the number of energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. This is because if our attack from either Shiftry or Orbeetle VMAX falls a few damage short of a KO, Celebi can easily be put into play because it is a basic and just requires 1 energy to attack and will only give up 1 prize card. So Celebi is more of a clutch card than anything, so I have it in this build just in case, and it gives me a reason to use Celebi in one of my builds. And one of the more important components to this build is the 202 line of Rillaboom with a voltage speed ability. Once during your turn, you can search your deck for 2 grass energy and attach them to one of your Pokemon. This is a real necessity for setting up a fast attack, and also a deterrent against crushing hammers. For consistency, I will be using 2 copies of Gormandai Snorlax and Dark Acid Crobat V, so that we will continue to have cards in our hand. As for the rest of the deck, I have 1 Ordinary Rod, 3 Pokemon Communication, 3 Quick Ball, 4 Rare Candies. This is very important since we have lots of Stage 2 in this deck, 4 Switch, 2 Turffield Stadiums, so we will have continuous access to our grass Pokemon evolutions, 2 Boss's Orders, 1 Cynthia and Caitlyn, 1 Malo and Lana, 2 Marnie, 2 Professor's Research, 1 Skyla, and 1 U-Turn Board. As for energies, I have Aromatic Energy, which helps to prevent status conditions, 2 Weakness Guard, very important when going against Fire-type matchups, and 10 Basic Grass Energy. As for strategy of this build, first, you have to set up Snorlax in your very first turn so you can get as many cards as you can at the beginning of the game. Then set up your Rillaboom line, just 1 should do, so you will have access to energy real quickly. So when you start setting up Shiftry and Orbeetle VMAX, you can energize them right away. I like using Shiftry to make that first attack, which in turn will also mess up your opponent's use of support cards, and then Orbeetle VMAX will be the secondary attacker to finish off the Pokemon that was already softened up by Shiftry. I gotta admit this combo won't always work, but it sure is fun to play. And that's pretty much it for the deck, but enough talk, let's see some gameplay. Yeah, you know what, winter is so gloomy. I wish we get more sun during winter. Anyways, let's get into this game. We got C-Dot and Grookey. Let's see, I think C-Dot can go into the active. And then Grookey can go on the bench. So we're up against another grass type deck as well. Okay. We're up against the Decidueye deck. So we have a rare candy on our hand. Ooh, they also have a Celebi amazing rare. Okay, there goes our rare candy. They're gonna Marnie it out of our hand. But we get a Orbeetle V instead. They're gonna Stellar Wish with their Jirachi. Ooh, Turffield Stadium. Actually, that can go into our favor as well, because we are a grass type deck. So either way, if we've played our Turffield Stadium, they would benefit us with it too, so it doesn't really matter. They get a Decidueye off of that. Alright, they're gonna turn it over to us. Orbeetle V can go into our bench, and let's just get us Shiftry here. We can't evolve. Oh no, we can. I guess our first turn was our first turn. We just didn't have any energy. So let's attach an energy there. Now we can start attacking in our next turn. Our opponent won't be able to attack because they don't have any energies yet. They do have a rare candy, so they will be able to evolve into Decidueye. No, I didn't even realize our first turn was our first turn. That's weird. So now our opponent's gonna have a hard time using any of their support cards because our Shiftry is in the active. So now let's attack now that we have two energies, but let's just use Turffield Stadium to get our VMAX. And Fan Tornado for a KO. We get a prize card for that. And no, we don't have to move them any. We don't need to have them switch because we already knocked it out. We get a weakness guard energy from that prize card. We don't really need it for this matchup anyways. So there it is. So if you notice, oh, okay. We need to start getting. We need to get our Rillaboom because we are gonna lose energy. But at least we have the weakness guard energy. We can just attach it on Shiftry and just continue attacking. But you'll notice that each time our opponent uses a support card, it's just gonna have that arrow with the down arrow. So we'll get a Rillaboom here. We'll use Skyla to get a rare candy. And now we can evolve it. We can evolve our Grookey. Now we can have access to energy anytime we want. And we'll just attack with Shiftry. No, we don't have to have them switch because they don't have any energy anyways. In our next turn we can just knock out this Decidueye. Okay, they're gonna get another Jirachi onto their bench. Yeah, so that's why Rillaboom. I played a lot of deck playing around with different combination, and Rillaboom has been very helpful with this type of build with Shiftry because I always end up not having enough energy, so I can't attack. So with Rillaboom, we have that instant energy on our Pokemon. So for example, if I switch out into Orbeetle VMAX, I can just put two energies onto it right away and start attacking. So also with Rillaboom, I choose not to have two lines of Rillaboom. You can if you want to, but I like to leave it open. And there's the down arrow again. So instead of Birdkeeper switching and then getting 3 cards, it's just gonna draw them 3 cards without switching. So let's just attach an energy on Orbeetle VMAX and just continue to attack. And then we get our Pokemon communication. So you'll notice too though, if they use the type of card, for example, that Rowlet on their bench, since they use the Bird Keeper, that can actually attack for no energy because it has that Sky Circus ability. But what Bird Keeper didn't do was switch it out. So if they wanted to, they could just switch it and then still be able to attack with attack for free for one of our bench because they use the Bird Keeper. So it's just the effect of that card will take effect, but if they have like abilities or something like that, that will still take effect. So let's just put another C-Dot on our bench. Now we can attack with Orbeetle V, and then we'll use Rillaboom to energize for 1 energy, and we're just gonna continue to attack with Fan Tornado. We will get knocked out, but that's fine. Let's switch it out. That way they won't be able to attack. They will need a switch to get it back into the active, but so they will need a switch to get it back into the active. So that's what I mean with the Fan Tornado effect. That can mess up your opponent's strategy. They're gonna use some Arnie, but all they will do is draw 3 cards. So now that since we switched, they don't have a switch. They forced them to switch their active. They had to attach an energy on Celebi to retreat because they didn't have a switch. So instead of attaching that energy on their other Decidueye, they had to attach it on Celebi. So that messed up their order of, I guess, their moves. So that does mess them up a tad bit. So now Decidueye won't be able to get affected by our Orbeetle VMAX, but at least we have our rare candy to evolve into Shiftry. But we're just gonna use Eerie Beam here, and then we're gonna switch, use Rillaboom to get 2 energies, energize our Shiftry, and knock this Decidueye out. Fan Tornado, and we don't have to switch it out again. This is a really nice, I think this is a really nice match to be able to showcase Shiftry, because in effect, Decidueye is actually a very tough contender if it's up against like VMAX or V or GX. So having Orbeetle VMAX here and a Shiftry just shows you how versatile Shiftry can be, but I don't think it pairs well with other types. I think it shines more on grass type decks because you have all these techs and also things that grass type benefit from. Are they gonna use Bird Keeper again? Okay, so that's just drawing them more cards, which is, you know, could be good for our opponent. And there's another Crushing Hammer, but that's fine. We have Rillaboom. We'll just get it back. I mean, we'll get another energy from our deck and just attach it onto our Shiftry. So no problem, no problem. There's another Decidueye. And that's what's the only thing with the Celebi is that we only use 2 energies for our main attackers. 2 energies on Shiftry, 2 energies on Orbeetle, so it's not gonna attack for much. I'm just gonna use this Quick Ball, get another C-Dot Shiftry line here, hoping to get another rare candy. Attach an energy. Let's see, we have 1 more. So yeah, we can use this boss's order. Fan Tornado this Decidueye. And no, we can just trap it into the active. He won't be able to attack us, it doesn't have any energy on it. So we will be able to knock it out if they don't move it out of the active. Either way, whatever they move into the active, we'll just knock out. And they're gonna use Marnie. This is a really nice showcase actually with Shiftry, because our opponent has not been able to use a lot of their support card the way it's intended to be used. So that's good. That's good. That's good for us. I mean, they are drawing cards, but still. Alright, so even if we don't find rare candy here, we should still have the stage 1 of Shiftry in our deck. That's why I always like to add one stage 1 on these stage 2 Pokemon, because sometimes when you don't find the rare candy, that's when it's good. Let's switch out and then just use Eerie Beam, and we'll just switch out again with Mallow and Lana back to Shiftry. You know what? Yeah, let's get Nuzleaf first to evolve this one, so we'll have another Shiftry line in our next turn. Fan Tornado for another KO. No. And then get another price card for it. And that Decidueye, I think only has one damage counter left on it. Do we only need? So we can just Eerie Beam for the win in our next turn. Even if they knock out this Nuzleaf, it doesn't really matter. I mean, Shiftry. Yeah, it only has 10 HP left. So even if they knock out the Shiftry and are active, all we have to do is use Eerie Beam. There's Professor's research. Yeah, so this is a really nice showcase. So goes to show Shiftry is stronger than Decidueye for sure. So we already got this game. Good game to our opponent. And we're just gonna switch out. Yeah, let's just evolve into another Shiftry. Let's just retreat. And then Eerie Beam for the win. There it is. Good game. You know, my real aim is to win with this deck against an ADP or something that's like tier 1. You know, and that will be epic. But for now, we'll go with what we have. So for this one, we have Orbeetle V. Alright, so we're fighting against a Alcremie VMAX deck, which can hit pretty hard. I'm thinking right now, we really have to protect our Orbeetle VMAX, because that's where our opponent's probably gonna bank their attacks. So, oh man, we have 3 rare candies. Let's just attach an energy, get a Turffield Stadium Pokemon. I'll just get Orbeetle VMAX. I'll use this Pokecom, and we'll get a no, let's just get a Snorlax. Retreat, and then we can start using Gormandize, because we need more options. To a Quick Ball. Oh my gosh. So one thing I do not like to do, or at least you would want to do, is to discard these rare candies. Oh, there goes our Turffield Stadium. Oh, okay, cool. So thanks to our opponent for for taking away, because I was thinking of using Professor's research, but I really didn't want to do that, because those rare candies are very valuable to this deck, because you want to be able to evolve C Dot or Grookey into Shiftry and Rillaboom in just one turn. You don't want to have to take 2 turns just to evolve them to stage 2, because you just don't have time for that. You know, your opponent will overtake you in those turns that you don't do anything. So let's just attach a Grass Energy on Orbeetle V, and we're just gonna Gormandize here. Alright, cool. We got a C Dot, so we can put that in the bench. See, the thing is, now we can't. We have one more Turffield Stadium in our deck, but now we can't play it because the Chaotic Swell's there. So Alcremie is not weak against. It's actually weak against Metal type, so we are not hitting for weakness here, and they are using type Null here for that drawing ability. So let's just put C Dot into the bench, and let's see, do we put the Aromatic? Yeah, let's just put it on C Dot and put this U-turn board on Orbeetle V, and I'm just gonna Gormandize. So what we could do is evolve C Dot into Nuzleaf, put an energy, and then use Crobat before we Gormandize. Hopefully we get something. Okay, they're gonna Marnie. So they already have 2 Alcremies prepared in their bench. Oh, okay. There's one Alcremie VMAX. And the thing with their deck or their deck build with the Silvally is that it has the disc reload, so they have this constant drawing of cards, which makes it a little bit more dangerous for us to deal with them, because you know they'll have a lot of options to play. Alright, well, we have a rare candy. We have a Turffield Stadium. That would have been nice if we could play the Turffield, get ourselves a Shiftry, and start attacking this Alcremie. For now, it's gonna use Adornment, so it's gonna get all these energies onto all of their benched Pokemon. Dude, that's a lot of energy. Ooh, we get a Shiftry. Sweet. So let's use rare candy. Let's just remove this Chaotic Swell. Not that it matters. Let's just put energy on Shiftry. And let's just Gormandize. At least removing that Turffield Stadium from our hand increases our cards to be drawn because of Gormandize. So the thing is, we have to avoid. We can't let Alcremie get Orbeetle V or VMAX, because Alcremie VMAX hits really hard, especially with all that energy. So at least it's not gonna Boss's Order us just yet. So that means we have a few turns to to survive. But at least with the Shiftry, the Shiftry deck that we have a lot of 1-prizers, so we're not too worried about them knocking out our 1-prizers. It's Orbeetle VMAX that we gotta worry about. But the thing with G-Max Whisk, 180 damage. 1, 2, 3. So Alcremie will deal 180 damage for 3 energies. I just put Shiftry in the active, and we're gonna evolve and put Celebi here. Maybe we can use that against them. And I'm gonna Pokecom to get another C Dot. That way we have another. We can have another Shiftry line I'm just gonna boss's order Silvally, and I'm gonna use Fan Tornado. The reason is Silvally has 2 retreat costs, so even if they put energy on it, unless they have a switch, at least that'll mess it up. You know, it will. They'll have to use up that switch, like that switch. But now they will have to use up 3 energies. Oh, they used Rose, and unfortunately, it doesn't work because of our Shiftry. So now they're not gonna get any more energies on their Pokemon. So they're gonna have to get rid of 3 energies. Okay, so that leaves them with 4. They will need 2 energies to attack. So for now, I'm gonna use Professor's Research and put Snorlax there. We could use a Rillaboom line. Let's just use Eerie Beam for now. And I might just have to attack here, actually. 300. G-Max Wave 450. Okay. So we just need to hit it one more, and then we could just knock it out. They won't be able to knock out our Orbeetle VMAX because they're only going to be hitting for 180 plus 6, 240. So we should be fine. Unless they add another energy, that'll be 300. Can they add 2 energies? If they add 2 energies, then that's it. Okay, now they can hit for 300 if they discard all their energies, but then that will leave them defenseless, or they won't be able to attack at all. So once they do that, we could just attack with Orbeetle VMAX and just knock out a lot of their VMAX. Okay, so now they can knock out our Orbeetle VMAX. So what are we gonna do? First, let's Eerie Beam. And I think I'm just gonna have to Marnie here. Let's see. We have Crobat. Let's just attach this on C dot. Use Crobat. That'll get us 3 cards. Let's use Quick Ball. We don't get anything. I think I'm just gonna retreat to Snorlax, actually. We can Gormandize, get ourselves 3 more cards. Okay, we got a boss's order. Sweet. Yeah, that way they won't be able to knock out our Orbeetle VMAX unless they have a boss's order. But even then, even if they knock out Orbeetle VMAX, that'll discard all of their energies, and that will leave them with 1 more prize card to go, but with no energies left on hand. So unless they have a Rose. Ooh, we got a rare candy. So we can energize, we can start energizing with Rillaboom, but we need a Shiftry. Okay, they're adding another energy. So even if they attack our Snorlax here, so the fact of the matter is that since they already use support, they can't use a VMAX. Ooh, should we? Yeah, I'm just Shiftry or Rillaboom. I think I'm gonna go for Shiftry because we can attack with it. I'm just gonna put an energy on Shiftry, and I'm just gonna Gormandize again. So this is a waiting game. Basically, unless they have a boss's order, we have 1 more boss's order at least. Unless they have a boss's order, they will have to take. See, if they discard 2 energies, they'll only hit Snorlax for 120. So they will need to discard 3 energy to KO Snorlax. There's the Rose. They need 3 energy. Oh wow, that's a lot of energy. They need 3 energy to knock out Snorlax, but at least that will lessen how much energy they have, and that will not knock out the Orbeetle VMAX that we have. So that's the... we're just waiting. We're playing the waiting game. But you know what? If we do knock out, let's just evolve into Rillaboom first. We have... if we had a boss's order, that would be nice. I'm just gonna use Ordinary Rod here, get the Shiftry line back, and get these 2 energies back into our deck. I think I'll just use Marnie. Hopefully we get like a switch. I do want to start attacking. Ooh, sweet. We got plenty of switch. What I could do is... let's see. I'm just gonna switch... oh, hold on. I'm just gonna use Fan Tornado. 280. Should we? Yeah, let's switch it out. You know what? Even if they switch out into that other Alcremie, the more energy that they have, the more attack Orbeetle VMAX will do. But now that they switched into the Dene, unless they have a switch, they'll have to retreat with it, and that will remove 1 energy on the Dene. So that will mess up the number of energies they can use for attack damage. And that's what I'm saying with the Fan Tornado. You can mess up your opponent just by forcing them to switch out. Okay, so they will knock out our Shiftry, but at least now they don't have a lot of energy. We can now use our Orbeetle VMAX to either attack. Let's just use Cynthia and Caitlyn for now. But our Orbeetle VMAX definitely will survive. Let's just get rid of the energy and get ourselves the boss's order back into our hand. I'm just gonna use Quick Ball here to get another Shiftry line, putting a C dot into our bench. Use Eerie Beam ability, and let's see. I could attack. I could just attack. We still have 6 we still have 6 prize cards to go, so I think I'm just gonna attack 150. I don't think they have enough firepower to... at least I don't think they have enough energy to compile and be able to knock out our Orbeetle VMAX. So, I mean, in terms of prize cards, they are ahead, but at least we are stacking up damage counters on their VMAXs. So all we have to do is just knock out these 2 Alcremies and we should be good. So the one in the bench just needs a few more just a few more damage. We should be good. And then 1 more hit on this Alcremie VMAX. Could just knock it out. 130 for that one. So we're close. We're close. 130. We're so close. Boss's order. Okay, for 3 energies, they will be able to knock out this Crobat. So the question is, what are we gonna do? If they knock out Crobat, I can just promote Orbeetle VMAX and knock it out. They will need 3 energies to discard here. See, the thing is, if they have another boss order, and the boss's order are Celebi, that's it. But I think for the most part, everything else, all our other Pokemon, if we evolve into Shiftry, should be fine. I didn't know they had other Pokemon in their deck, but that's fine. I don't know if they have another boss's order. That's the thing. So they leave 2 energies on this Alcremie VMAX. But once we knock this out, that should leave them... Oh, cool. Let's evolve into Shiftry. So the only thing is, they will have to target that Celebi to win the game. So one more Eerie Beam, and that Alcremie VMAX in the bench is good to go. So all we have to do is knock this one out. We get 3 prize cards for that. I wonder if we can use boss's order. 120 damage. Let's see. Let's just knock it out. I was thinking of actually switching Shiftry and finishing it off so that they can't use boss's order, and then they won't be able to knock out our Shiftry. But unfortunately, we are 10 damage short. I was actually thinking of putting a vitality band on this build. That way we can hit for 120. But you know what? We just need one more Eerie Beam. Unless they have boss's order and they have energy. Okay. That was a tough game. Good game. Good game. Alright, let's choose heads. What are we up against? Let's just go first. Well, they have a Charizard box. I don't know what we're up against. Let's put Snorlax into the active as always. Orbeetle V into our bench. Oh, we are up against a fire deck. Terrible matchup. 90% of the time I mean, for me anyways, 90% of the time I have been losing matches using this deck against fire themed decks. The only thing is, I mean, I will put up a fight, but it usually doesn't end up, it doesn't go really well because we are a grass type. We are hitting for weakness. Okay, so we are up against a Centiskorch VMAX deck. Let's use a quick ball. Let's get rid of Rillaboom for now. Get ourselves a C-Dot. We can evolve that into our next turn. I think I'm just gonna Gorman Dice here. What I'm thinking of, because they do use a lot of Welder, if we have Shiftry by chance in the active, they won't be able to use it. So we can slow them down that way. We can slow down their energy attachment if we can prevent their Welder from being used. So Volcanion, if Volcanion was here, our opponent is using Volcanion, then it would be a little tougher on our part because they will just energize it using Volcanion's attack to energize. 210. Okay, 30 for each damage. So we are using 2 energies on our Pokemon. If we use the weakness guard, I think we should be fine. So let's just, what I'm thinking of in the next turn, because this Victini V is ready to go, I'm just gonna boss's order that turtle because it has 4 retreat cost. Unless they have switch and energy, then we should be okay. I'm just gonna evolve into Shiftry and Orbeetle VMAX, use Pokecom, and get myself a Rillaboom line, getting Grookey first. Unfortunately, I can't do anything just yet. I might just have to Gorman Dice here. I am taking a risk by doing that because I was thinking of just switching out Shiftry. That way they can't use their Welder. But if they have a switch, and then they could just knock it out. So let's hope for the best. They have a Professor's Research. We have Boss's Order again, so even if they switch out, we can just Boss's Order this turtle again. And, you know, mess them up that way. Because if they can't retreat, then, you know, we can stall that way. Allowing us to plan out our strategy here, because I need that Rillaboom. Okay, cool. So what we could do here is use Turffield Stadium, use Skyla, get a rare candy, and we can get a Rillaboom using the Turffield Stadium. Evolve that. Evolve Grookey using the rare candy. I can attach one energy on Orbeetle maybe, and I can use the U-turn board on Orbeetle VMAX. Let's just switch Orbeetle VMAX, use Eerie Beam. The little chunk damage can go a long way. I can retreat into Shiftry, use Voltage Speed, put 2 energies on Shiftry, and I can just attack this turtle. No, we don't want to switch it, because we just want it stuck in the active so that our opponent can't attack. So now they can't use Welder. They will have to manually attach energy. Okay, they use Professor's Research, but they draw 3 cards instead. Pokegear. Even if they use Pokegear, they won't be able to use their support. There's the Welder. I wonder if they're gonna be tempted to use the Welder. But see, that's the given the right circumstance, I'm telling you, Shiftry can be good, but on other deck typing, if you mix it with other type of decks, you won't do too well, because you don't have I mean, if you have Grass Energy to attach on Shiftry so it can attack. Okay, so Torkoal heals for 20, but we can still knock it out with Shiftry. But I don't know if I wanna knock it out, because now it's gonna give them a chance to get Centiskorch into the active. We have 2 more rare candy. Should I knock it out? I have a Boss's Order. I can choose to switch out another one of their Pokemon, but Torkoal already has 2 energy, so it can start attacking. Should I Boss's Order this Victini? 200. It's not gonna do much, but if we yeah, I think I'm just gonna knock out this Torkoal. That will get us 2 prize card at least. Yeah, let's just have them switch it out. Maybe it'll confuse them. So that's the only challenge with this matchup, is that they are hitting for weakness, and so that kind of puts us on the, you know, fire decks eat grass decks for dinner or for breakfast. So so now our Shiftry is look at that, 300 damage. I'm just gonna put Snorlax in the active. So Victini V has 220 HP because of the heat energy. So Orbeetle V VMAX can't knock it out. I'm just gonna put Snorlax here. Put an energy on C dot. I'm gonna use Ordinary Rod to get the Shiftry line back and get these energy back into our deck. I think I want to put C dot you know what? Let's just Gourmandize, I think. Because, at least we have a Pokemon communication. We can switch out for a Shiftry, use the rare candy to evolve it. We have Voltage Beat to energize and start attacking. We can soften up this Centiskorch VMAX. Since they use the Welder, they can't use boss's orders, so we should be fine for now. So they have a hammer also, but we're not worried about that because we have our Voltage Beat Rillaboom. 200 damage, okay. Centiskorch VMAX has 4 energy, so we will be hitting for 5, 10, 15, 20, 250 damage. Okay, so we have that weakness guard on our Orbeetle VMAX. At least they won't be able to knock it out that easily. So let's evolve into Shiftry. Use Voltage Beat to put 1 energy on it, and then probably use Marnie. So let's see what we get. We get another rare candy. That's good. So we can get another Shiftry. We just need another Shiftry. Voltage Beat 1 energy on Shiftry, and we can just attack Fan Tornado. And should we have him switch? No, let's not have him switch, because if they want to retreat, they'll have to do hard retreat and lose energy, or since it has 3 retreat cost anyways, or if they have a switch or air balloon, okay, so that will lessen their retreat cost. They have Fire Crystal, but again, they won't be able to use a Welder. Centiskorch VMAX only has 250 HP, so we can actually knock it out with Orbeetle VMAX. And since it doesn't have a lot of energy, we can survive an attack from it. As long as they don't have a hammer and then they hammer away our weakness guard. They're gonna energy burst 360 damage on our Shiftry. We should be able to knock out this Victini V. Let's see, we can put an energy on C dot. Eerie Beam. That little damage goes a long way, and I'm just gonna knock out this Victini V. 250 damage. That'll get us 2 prize cards. Okay. We could use another Shiftry, but the Centiskorch VMAX, we can just knock it out with this Orbeetle VMAX. Yeah, now it has, okay, 240 with 4 energy. Wait, they just healed 260. That's fine. We can Eerie Beam, and then with the 4 energy, we can do 250 damage and knock it out. So, yeah, I think we got this game. Dude. No! Crushing Hammer! No! 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 What? Why did they remove the grass energy? Oh no. Dude, they should have removed the weakness guard. They can just one hit knock out this Orbeetle VMAX. Like I said, guys, when you play a game, you're making a decision. You're making a decision real time. So if you make one mistake, that'll be the end of the game, and that just cost them the game. Dude, that's it. Eerie Beam, attach 1 energy on Orbeetle VMAX, and then we can knock this Centiskorch VMAX and win the game. Oh, dude. So with those hammers, man, it will either win you the game or not. But they could have had me. they could have had me. That was a really good game. Shiftry is definitely an interesting card. When used at just the right time, you can really mess up your opponent's strategies because they can't use any support cards. It sure was a challenge making a deck out of this one, but it really paid off. And that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please don't forget to smash that like button. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and please consider subscribing to this channel if you haven't already. My name is Joseph. Thank you so much for watching the Popsicle Knight channel, and as always, stay safe and have a great day.